components and using different kind of chemicals, they have to be very careful.
Okay.
Because depending on the kind of medication that you're on, that could really have a conflict. So you need to really go where someone knows what they're doing so that you can get this treatment done.
So do you guys hear this? This is only to be done by a professional. That's why you're going to come to Tanya, because I'm telling you she's wonderful at this.
So what we're doing here right now, she's actually getting this. It takes only 30 minutes for this to be done. 30 minutes. The rays that you can see here, the water's changing color. It's really important for you to know that the color of the water is not necessarily meaning that this is coming out of your body. No, this is not true. The water itself holds metal because it's traveling from under the ground through many pipes. So the component of the salt and the electricity is actually making a chemical change right now. So what you actually see is not necessarily all coming from out of her feet. It's coming some from the water. Depending on what area you're in, or even the water type, depends on the color of the water. Actually, what we're going to be looking for is when the service is over with, what that stickiness is around the container itself and the residue that is left under. What's important also is that the individual has to drink water prior to this, because this has to be washed out of the bladder. It has to be washed out. And what I mean by that is that as soon as she gets through with her treatment, she's going to feel a draining type of thing under her feet. Sometimes people feel itchy. That's because they're really toxic. And you just jump-started something. And so it has to continue going on. So you have to drink the water. And do you know, Yvette, that really a lot of the finding is after you get through getting the treatment and you drink the water and you go to the bathroom, you should notice a significant difference in your urine itself. It should be deep in color. Deep in color. That means that everything is working. The body is jump-starting and is actually starting to cleanse itself as well. We need a lot of things like this to get us started, but actually detoxing comes in many forms. We're talking about brushing the skin. We're talking about foods that can detox. We're talking about essential oils that you can actually use to start the body for detoxing. So there's many forms of detoxing, and we'll be able to talk about that a little later in the show.
Okay, Tanya, can I interject? Is it possible for anybody of any age type to get this therapy?
Yes. The smaller children right now, they're not really as much detox as we are as individuals. As time goes on, the different foods that we're eating, okay? But one thing that's important, you cannot use this machine, you cannot have a detox with anything that has electrical to it if you're on a pacemaker.
Okay.
Anything that you have in your body that is working off of any kind of electrical pulse, you cannot use these machines.
Can I say something? I want to interject this one point. When Tanya did this to me earlier this week, she said that I would sleep, like, incredibly. She was not lying. I think this is the best thing because people don't understand our hands and our feet are pathways to our organs directly through that technique of reflexology. When she does this, it's like anybody who's gone through a detox or a fasting or whatever, you know that your body is different after you complete the fast. What I want people to know is that we have things, the simplest things can help create longevity in our lives. And this is one of those things. So I would say, let somebody rub your feet or your hands today or your head. I bet you will feel better. That's just me, I'm a little nutty. But Tanya's going to tell us more about this. And what's so wonderful about this ionic thing is she has these blowers here. You would not know, I mean, unless you really experience this, the feeling of what it's drawing down. It feels like it's pulling things off of me. So Tanya, you want to let them know about the symbolism, because there is a symbolism for the color, for what things she sees in the water, actually give her an idea of what's going on in the body.
Yes, if you're not really diagnosing with this, you're not even prescribing with it. As I said, detoxing the body can come from many forms of services. But what's happening right here, though, is that the salt in the water itself is a drawing agent.